Good evening and welcome to online live psychic readings. And I'm Veronica Jenkins and I am your host for this evening. I have my tarot cards and I'm offering mediumship readings too. Okay, so if you'd like a tarot reading, please feel free to ask me a question and I will pull you a card to hopefully answer your question. And if you would like a mediumship reading, just put in the comments that you would like a mediumship reading. So let's say a few hellos first. Hello, Violet. Hello, Joe. Hi, Vanilla. Xanadu. Hello, Teresa Phillips. Violet, your grandson in spirit, please. I can't always guarantee that I can place the exact people that people are wanting. As I'm linking into you, Violet, I'm aware of a blonde-haired young man. Okay, he's showing me as a toddler, but he's then growing up. And he's growing up into a teenager, sort of 13-year-old teenager there. And he's just giving me the impression of very happy days in his younger life, very troubled in his teenage life as well. And just a need from him when he was on the earth plane for both excitement but understanding and not getting really either, and getting quite confused in himself. Okay. I want to say that there's an anniversary around this time now. So we're at the 12th of February. I want around the 13th, 14th of February as an anniversary that would sort of link in around either yourself or your grandson there, around his family. Okay. And he's giving me the sense that there's separation going on at the moment as well, and separation in terms of people on the earth plane, that they seem to be pulling apart, pulling themselves apart and pulling family apart, just arguments, finding life in every shape and form difficult. Okay. And he's coming just wanting to sort of bring some calmness, bring some loving, bring some just time, I want to say, because people are expecting things to be happening straight away and not giving each other time, whether that's time to grieve, time to understand, just time. It's just not happening. I've just realised my door's not closed properly. Hattie, would you mind closing the door, love, please? And that time is important for the family, is important for you as well. He's taking me to August, and I want around the 25th, 26th of August as a much happier time. Now, I'm not normally into sort of fortune telling, things like that, but so I want sort of happy memories around that period of time with him. Okay. And that's why he's bringing that in. All right, so obviously that would be some holidays, wouldn't it? That bit before you go back to school and all the chaos that brings, and it's the last breath of freedom and all of those things. Okay, he's making me aware of trees as well. Would you understand? It's either that a tree was planted in his memory, or that there's the symbolism of trees going on, or both kind of thing. That from small branches, the whole tree gets massive. That kind of concept that it's forever growing. It's that there's growth at all times. he's talking about fairies as well. So would you understand somebody who either liked collecting fairies or has a belief in fairies, please? Because he just brought these fairies in. Cycle of life, his mother made massive, right, okay, that's why he was bringing that in. And he's loving these fairies. And would you understand, little ones are turning by themselves as such, and I think it's him messing around. Okay, so I'm just going to leave his love with you, Violet. I'm glad it all made sense for him, for you. Know that he's absolutely fine in the spirit world. He's enjoying life as such. He is where he needs to be. You are where you need to be. But that family reconnecting is quite important for him as well. Okay, I will leave you with his love and thank you for working with me. So let's say a few more hellos. Hello, Missy Cox. Hi, Sarota. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Danielle. Sorry. She's. Oh, what did you just say there? She said he's moving stuff. Thank you. Yeah, it's particularly those around those little fairies. Yeah. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Bernadette. Oh, it's Vanessa, is it? Hi, Andy Robinson. Xanadu, I see you asking that question a lot because, I do admin for a lot of other people about will you and Scott reconcile. That's totally up to you, love. It's not up to the cards. It's not up to spirit. It's up to you. And do you really want to? Okay. You split up for a reason. You need to sort of really focus on what that reason was, and does your life really need that complication within it, or do you need a fresh start? That is totally up to you. It's not up to the cards. It's not up to spirit. And I know loss is a terrible, terrible thing. I know, yeah. I know I told you to ask a question, but there's lots of questions to ask that you haven't asked before, maybe. Okay, right. Okay, who else? Linda, hi. Hello, Susan. Cornelia, you'd like your mum or your gran? Let's see who we can get for you here. Okay. You'd understand Gran being quite small in build, small in height. She's making me wear very small feet, like size 2 feet or something. Very, very busy lady. She's given me the sense that she would have had she's talking about Alzheimer's, but to focus on a physical first. You would understand her hands being stiff, like arthritis, please. I was trying to find the word there. So I know with your grand that she would have struggled to find the right words. And she's also given me the sense that oh, not small feet. Okay. Would you understand the rest of this, Cornelia, other than the small feet? I don't know why she's so... She's going back to these size 2s. If your nan didn't have the small feet, who did that would fit this description, please? She's going back to possible a bit of Alzheimer's. Okay. She's going back to these hands that were arthritic. Oh, it's you that's got a small feet. Okay. Right, so Nan's going on about arthritic, and I can also feel on her hands rings that were quite loose on her hands, so which to me would mean that she'd lost weight as well prior to her passing, and she's making me aware that she really went off of food as well, feeling quite sicky in herself prior to her passing there, and just illness throughout her, very achy, very headachy, just not well at all. And it's like curling up into bed and just wanting to go to sleep and staying asleep. And I feel that is actually how she passed, that she just went to sleep and stayed asleep. Obviously waking up in the spirit world, and there's a gentleman there that welcomed her straight away, and a brother, I feel, that was in the spirit world welcoming her. Okay. Yes, Cornelia, you're saying possibly your mum. It might be that I've got your mum and your nan very close together, because you asked for them both, and I think that they would have been very close as well. Okay. You'd understand the knitting and the balls of thread, and sitting with memory of having the big the big wool that you'd hold in your hands while they put the balls, the big skeins of wool, that's what they call them, isn't it? That you bought the big skein, and you had to be the one that actually made the balls of wool. So you'd sit there like this with your hands up and with these skeins of wool, just making the balls of wool there. She's bringing that in as a memory. And you'd understand, she's putting this cough on me, but I know that I didn't get that sense of cough before. So there must be somebody that you would relate to who's got difficulty in breathing at this current time. That COPD, is it that they've got, where there's just a real challenge in breathing at times, and I've got sort of having to take medication, breathing in medication to ease that breathing. Okay. And just so much healing coming in and around for that too. Okay. Or it's yourself that's got the COPD. Well, Grant's just sort of making me aware of that condition around you, and you've obviously got that. So know that healing is coming from spirit for you. And take your time with things. Take your time. Is that interesting? She's saying nothing is ever as you expect it to be, nor should it be. Okay. Things are good surprises. Okay. But there's a sense of having to let the world evolve around you. So I feel that she's very much talking about spiritual development for yourself. And I don't mean mediumship development, I mean spiritual development. Okay. And really tapping into what that means to you and how that impacts on the way that you lead your life. Okay. And seeking something that's going to be much, much more fulfilling for you, because you go with that flow of the universe kind of thing. Okay. So I will leave Nan's love and Mum as well. Okay. And thank you very much for working with me, and thank you for allowing me to touch with this wonderful, wonderful lady of yours. Okay. So hi everybody, if you can just keep on commenting so I know that you're still here. Hi Emma. Hi Sarka. Hi Shafiel. Hi Laura. Hi Linda. I'm just reading a few names until I see who I'm drawn to. Okay. I don't mind doing spirit readings or card readings. If you want a card reading, just ask me a question. Not one that you keep asking the same question over and over again, but okay. Hi, Andy. Hi, Bernadette. Sariba, I hope I pronounced that right for you. Connect to somebody in spirit. I've got a gentleman that is coming through for you. Okay. And with this gentleman, he's showing me smoking. Okay, so I know he would have been a smoker. He's making me aware of problems with his lungs, but also his circulation. There was a lot of problems with his circulation and his legs, the bottom of his legs. And would you understand an embolism with a gentleman in spirit? Would this be your father or grandfather, please? If you could just comment, Sir Robert, so I know that I'm on the right lines. Because if you can't, right, no to smoking. That interesting, because he'd got me picking up a cigarette there. Would you understand him smoking years and years before? Okay. Because they usually do it because I'm an ex-smoker, so they always bring cigarettes in for me, which is a bit unfair, really. He's, as well as this circulation problem, he's giving me the sense that his trousers became very loose on him. Okay. So he must have, or may have been in his college days, but you haven't seen him do it. Okay. Would you understand the circulation issue as well with him? He's also making me aware that he's wanting me to put my hands in his pockets. Oh, my hands in my pockets, sorry. So he would have had his hands in his pockets a lot. That would have been a habit that we'd done. And the small change in the pockets, where he'd just fiddle with the small change in his pockets, and just as a habit, and there'd be his keys in there and things like that. And it's just, it will give him time to think as well. And he's giving me the sense that there's a situation around you where he's wanting you to take your time and think through a situation. Oh, you do that. Think through a situation. He's not going to give you the answers to it, because it's important that you find the answers to it, because it's that process that you go through in finding the answers that actually helps you learn, helps you grow, help you develop. If you're always given the answers, you become not lazy per se, but you don't stretch yourself, you don't learn. And it's important as individuals that we go through that process of learning, that process of development, and we do that by asking questions and finding the answers, not just being given the answers. Okay. It stretches those brain cells there to do it ourselves. So he's not going to give you the answer, other than to say, work hard at it and use the little grey cells. And it's not that the answer is uncomfortable. It's you have to find it. Okay. You have to go through the process. It's no point in somebody else giving you the answer, because then you've lost all of that experience of going through the process of finding the answer. Okay. And I know that doesn't feel safe at times to do that, because you worry that you'll get it wrong. Well, but that's part of it. We, as kids, we never worry about falling down and having problems. We're expected to make mistakes as kids. Why do we stop thinking that it's okay to do that? It's fine to do that. Life is about making mistakes and growing from them. So don't worry about answers being uncomfortable. That's where the learning is. That's where the excitement is. Is where the life is. We have a purpose of being in this world, and let's find that incredible answers to our life by exploring life, not just grabbing the answers off a shelf that means nothing to us because we haven't been through a process. Okay, so do the learning, do the experience, and enjoy it. You might get hurt, you not. Doesn't matter. It's the experience that matters. Okay, just go with it. Right, I've had a little rant there, but Dad is just keen for you to learn, as any dad is. Okay, they want the best for you, and they want you. He's standing here grinning from ear to ear. Okay, so take his love and thank you for working with me. All right. Emma, you can tell your brother yourself. You don't need me to talk to spirit. You're perfectly capable of talking to spirit yourself. Everybody, that's the same for everybody else. Everybody has an ability to talk to spirit because you can just talk. They are here. They are around you. They are next to you. They are part of you. So when you talk to spirit, they hear you because they are experiencing that moment with you. Okay, so if you want to talk to your loved ones, just talk to them and they're there. Okay. Right, who else? Sharon, hi, love reading. Saka, who would like a card reading? I feel I'm needing to draw a card for somebody. So who would like a card? If you want a question, please do ask a question, not if it's the same question that you've asked lots of other readers before, because I do see them doing admin. Hi, Acupressure. Hi, Sharon. Susan Ross, you would like a card. You're the first one that came up, so let's give you a card, Susan. Okay, Susan. That's a lovely sunflower that you've got there. Okay, Susan. Oh, I was looking at your sunflower and drew a sunflower for you. Isn't that perfect? Okay, garden, the golden flower, temperance. You need to be kind to yourself. I think you're hypercritical of yourself and you need to balance that out. Okay, give yourself a break from you as such, because you're the first to criticize yourself. You're the first to say, well, I've done that wrong and that's awful. You're the first to not praise yourself when praise is due and needed. Okay, so very much a beautiful flower that matches with your little icon there, and that's lovely. Things are very emotional, I want to say, at this time, because you've got the fish going on here as well, and you get, I'm sensing that you're going through a period of transformation where balance is very much needed. Hattie, sorry, I was going to ask her to close the door because I'm just conscious that door's open. You're going through a bit of a transformation at the moment, okay, and that needs balancing out. So seek out nature, seek out grounding activities, go for a walk in the park, have a nice bath. You know, it's grounding, and just let yourself absorb in that salt bath and just allow yourself to breathe, okay, and take time. And find you within all of that and find that balance, because as we awaken to our spirit, to ourselves, that can feel quite, you can feel quite out of kilter with that at times. So just be kind to yourself, okay? Don't place too many expectations on you. You know, there's no time scales, there's no it has to be done by. Just be kind to yourself, okay? And do some positive affirmations in your life, okay? Perhaps end each day just thinking through the things that went well for you that day, and the minute you start thinking of the negative ones, just stop it. Okay, if it's negative, well, this didn't go, don't even go there. Okay, just focus on the things that have gone well that day. Okay, I will leave that with you, Susan, and thank you for allowing me to work with you. Right, David, no, I can't. Sorry. I'm not a fortune teller. If there are predictions, then predictions are purely based upon reading who you are now, being able to pick up on things that have happened in your past, and then if you continue being that same person and continue with the same patterns, then yes, there's certain things that are likely to happen. So say if you are a very angry person and not very forgiving person, in the past you will have had a lot of difficulties with relationships. Okay, you're still like that now. The chances are, unless you do some real deep spiritual work, some deep psychological work, you will continue to be that angry person. Well, I can tell you straight away, in the future, you're going to have problems with relationships. And so I can give you that kind of prediction. I'm not saying that that's like you. I'm just saying that is the kind of predictions that you get with tarot, because that's the way it goes. And I can see that you're saying yes, and you don't mind then going sideways. Here's an interesting one for you then. Okay, if you want to create a future, it's not the cards that will do that, it is you. Okay, only you, nobody else. The spirit won't create your future. Spirit didn't create your past. The cards didn't create your past. Only you did. Okay, how you go forward is very, very, very much up to you. So think about what you really want for your future and do what is needed to create that future. Bang. Okay. What was that? But some others, I don't know what they will impact. No. And the cards don't know that either. And Spirit doesn't know that either. Okay. Because you know people, right? You've said people near your circle, right? You have a think about them. Have a think about, right, if I do this, what is that person going to do? Doesn't need the cards, doesn't need spirit. It just needs you thinking about, if I do this, what is Joe going to do? If I do that, what's Mary going to do? What's she going to think? What's she going to feel? What's Arthur going to think and feel? And if they feel like that because of the person they are, how are they going to react to me? You start thinking at that level, you create your own future. And how powerful is that? How incredible is that? It just needs thought, needs time, and confidence in yourself, Davy. Okay? Right. I don't know why I bother with cards. Joe White, you'd love a connection with your husband. Let's see whether we can make a connection with your husband. Okay. And your son as well. Let's see who we've got. Right. I've got a gentleman holding his neck here. Okay. Holding his neck. And he's making me aware that around linked to his passing was a great deal of blood as well. Okay. Joe, can you just let me know whether that makes sense for you, because it's quite specific, and I don't want to go any further with that link if it's not the right one for you. Okay. I feel accident conditions round Okay, would that make sense with you, Joe? With this gentleman? And if it's not your husband, would you understand a gentleman who passed in those kind of circumstances? He's talking about January the 18th, 17th, 18th, 19th, around that period of time as well. Okay. Oh, you can take coffee, not blood. Okay. Yeah, I could. Yeah, because that would link with this throat. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to ask him to come in closer with me. Okay. He's making me aware of wearing, not an accident, no. Okay. Okay, Joe, would you understand those dates that I gave you? Because if you can't take that date, a date around the 17th, 18th, 19th of January, then I'm not with you, okay? And I must be with somebody else, and I'm going to have to open that up. So while Joe's responding, if anybody else can take those dates and somebody, a gentleman passing in an accident, then please put in the comments that you can take that, because that's the spirit that I am linking with. Yeah, it's 17th, 18th, and 19th, around that of January. Okay, it's got to be the January, and it's got to be around those dates, if anybody can take those dates. And it can be anything that's relevant to yourself or your family with those dates. Okay. Not getting much response, but it could just be that not with you. Thank you for being honest with that, Joe. Okay. Hopefully I will be able to get back to you. Is anybody else able to take this gentleman that passed through an accident where there would have been blood loss? Okay. Terry, overdose with your brother, 13th of January. Okay, and John Neighbour had an accident, but not sure of the death. Let's see. Oh, head trauma. I've already given you a message, haven't I? Oh, right, Terry, because Sir Robert, because I've already given you a message, I kind of, and it's kind of Terry, especially since she found him there. I'm going to just go with Terry for a minute here, okay? So, Raphael, your birthday is the 17th, pass the lung collapse on that day, but you don't know about the blood, okay? Right. So Terry and Raphael, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong for you. I'll just get some more information with this. The gentleman I've got, I feel, is actually in his 20s, around that kind of age. Okay. So would that fit with Terry or Raphael? I feel with him that he would have worn shirts, button-up shirts. He's showing me in a white shirt that would have had buttons going up. Okay, so Terry, does this match with you? And he's making me aware of smart trousers here as well, not jeans. I'm not getting jeans that are or tracksuit bottoms, anything like that. I'm just getting smart trousers and this white shirt, and that's how we'd like to dress. So would that make sense? It's about mid to late 30s, okay? So Trish, how old was Who's it that you said? Your brother. No, that doesn't make sense. Raphael, did he dress in that way? And it could well be that I got his age right, because I'm more certain about his style of clothing than I am about his age. Okay, especially if he looked young and acted young. Okay. And you'd understand where there was five others in the family. So I feel that he would have been one of 6 children. And mum is still on the earth plane. Would this be making sense for you? So some weekends always in casual clothes. Okay. Because this isn't gelling exactly into place, I'm going to ask him to stand to one side, because it may be that somebody's just come in on. You'd need to be able to take the other children as well, which you haven't. I'll leave that, and I'll break from spirit and just see. Right, career related question, please. Yes, I will. Sweet tooth girl, because I can't remember seeing you on these lives before, so I will give you a quick card reading on that. Sorry, I couldn't get that gentleman place properly. Okay. You've been working on a particular modelling contract for Astra. Right, well, that would fit in very well with the Ace of Mirrors, around that beauty, around self-recognition as well. Okay. And she is such a beautiful, beautiful image. Okay. With this being the Ace of Mirrors, what it's saying is that it's time to do a bit of self-reflection. Okay. Will I receive? I don't know what LVMH modelling contract is, and I don't do fortune telling. Okay. What I will be able to do is tell you what the cards are saying around you. Okay. And what the cards are saying around you is it's time for self-reflection on you. If you've got this contract coming up, is it really what you want? Okay. And are you willing to make the sacrifices that are required for the level of commitment that is going to be needed with it? Is that going to be the right fit for you, not just now, but in the coming few years? Okay. So if you are offered it, is that exactly what you want? Because are you sure it's you? Okay. There's different levels to you, and you're starting to become aware of deeper thinking than you've ever realized that you were capable of, even, I think. And it's just shouting at me some self-reflection. Now, it could be that once you look at yourself in the mirror and really ask yourself some hard questions about what it is that you want and what you're willing to sacrifice for that, you want to go ahead with this. Brilliant, all well and good. But it might be that you self-reflect and think, actually, that's not what I want for myself for the coming future. I want something different, and maybe I need to think again. I'm not saying either way. It's for you to discover that, not me, not the cards. It's you to discover that. Okay. You would understand somebody in spirit, please, that passed with a head condition, please, especially on the left-hand side, because as I'm talking to you, I've got this gentleman, I want to say, coming in, and he's making me aware of a head condition here that he passed with. So that could be tumor, it could be an aneurysm, it could be stroke, but it's, and he went like that, bang, gone. And I feel he would have been left-handed as well, because I'm wanting to do things with my left hand and I'm right-handed. So would this make sense to you, Sweet Tooth Girl, about this gentleman in spirit? Whether this is Grandad? Please, if you could just let me know whether that's making sense to you or not. Okay. I know that you've, going back to this card, right, just while I'm waiting for you to respond there, because I know of the delay, you've had a lot of emotional upset recently as well. Okay, you can understand where there's been grief, a lot of grief recently, and a point where you weren't sure that you were going to be able to get through that level of grief. And sort of getting lost in all of those emotions. Okay. I've not getting any response. I don't know whether you've just gone. So I will leave that with you, Sweet Tooth. I don't know whether it's just that you didn't want to hear, you wanted an answer rather than me questioning, but there we are. I'll leave that with you. Right, a few more hellos, because we've got some new people coming on. Hi Trish, hi Pamela, hi Amanda, hi Mel, hi Robin. Oh, Robin, no, this was for Sweet Tooth Girl. Okay. Okay. Sarka, hello. Linda, hello. I'm just seeing. Oh, I see what you mean, Robin. There's a lot to what I said. That you could connect to, because he was left-handed, had a stroke, couldn't use his left hand. He had a brain tumor, 3 brain surgeries. Okay, Robin. Right, this was a different link. Right. Let's see whether it is him, Robin. Robin, if I have got your son here, then you would understand March, and I want to take you to around the 22nd, 23rd of March. Okay, so let me know whether that is a date that you would understand, and if it is, then I'm obviously I am with you, Robin. Okay. Because I'm getting all these dressings around his head, which would make sense with the operations that you've talked about. He's also saying about how it affected his emotions and his ability to control his emotions and thoughts, and he found it very difficult to, if he thought something, he'd be saying it, which could really upset people around him. Oh, you can't take the March. Okay. But you would be able to take these emotions and lack of being able to control his anger at times as well. He found the whole process extremely, extremely difficult. Robin, because of the time, I want to do a couple more readings, so I'm just going to leave your son with you. Know that he's absolutely fine, okay? All of that anger, all of that frustration, all of that just out there-ness, he's saying, disappeared with his passing. He's absolutely fine. He comes around you a lot. You know he does. You sense him, but you don't trust yourself that it is him. He is saying it is him, and please take all of his love. Okay, right. Hello, Rose. Hello, Sheila. Hello, Stacey. Hello, Evelyn. Mel, you would like a card? Let's give you a card. Okay. Right now, Green Man, the Emperor. You see his face in there. A man of nature, and that. Right, you would understand where there's a pregnancy around you, Mel. I'm not saying it's you, don't worry. But you would understand somebody on the earth plane who is pregnant at this current time. Okay, you might not be aware of it if it's under the 12 weeks, so be aware that I've said. Okay, I do feel that this person has had miscarriages before, and it's another reason why they might not be saying anything yet about it. Okay, because they want to make sure before letting people know. Okay, you've been. Can you see all of the vines and the roots? There's a sense that around you, you've been looking for more. You've been looking for a deeper connection with spirit, with yourself, with the world, and keep on looking. And it's that nature connection that's very important for you within that. And keep on looking for that nature connection, and just enjoy being in nature. Take some time for you and be in nature. That's what this card's telling me for you. Okay, and just have confidence in yourself. Okay, so very short and sweet, so I will leave that with you. Linda Dunn, you would like a card? I'm going to do a few quick ones, just so I can get through a few more people. Okay, because I'm aware there's a few of you on here. Right. So Linda Dunn, the Acrobat. Okay. Linda, you've just come through a period of time that seemed as though you'd never get through, and this sense of elation, this sense of joy, jumping out, is really showing itself in terms of, hey, I've made it out. Okay, you've heard that expression, monkey on your back. Just be careful that there are things still tying you to that past, and that's not a bad thing. I know it's probably, you will think, oh, I wish it wasn't there, but actually there's lessons to learn from those whole experiences. Okay, and until you've learned those lessons, those won't totally go for you. All right, but that's not a bad thing. It's a learning thing. It's an experience thing. Okay, so just go through what still remains, what emotions really still tie you to that time, and emotions of guilt, emotions of anger, emotions of okay, work through them, see what it is that's causing that and stopping you from totally letting go. Okay, and when you've learned what that is, what's that teaching you about yourself and about the world, then you will find that you'll be able to let that go. Okay, Right, Joel, you like a card regarding your mediumship journey as the mediumship wasn't for you, yeah. I'm not going to draw your card for your mediumship journey because everybody's journey is different and it's very much up to you, okay? Spirit will never make you do anything. It's up to you. It's like at school or in work, whatever. It's your choice of what work you want to do. It's your choice of what things you want to study. It's your whatever you are feeling drawn to. Okay, so work with yourself on what you are drawn to. There's so many different facets of mediumship. Obviously, there's the psychic work with the cards, there's the mediumship bit, there's trance, there's physical mediumship, there's the healing. One of the most profound parts of spiritualism is around the healing. Okay, and you could do all of it, you could do none of it. But what I would say to you is make sure what you're doing is spiritual, not just to tick boxes in a sort of monetary way, because you're missing the point. Okay, we can go out and earn money doing whatever. If you want to earn money with mediumship or any of the tools within spiritualism, then take your time to learn about yourself. Okay, take your time to learn about your spirit and your relationship to God, to that universal spirit, to whatever entity that you call that. Because if you don't have a connection to God, to that universal spirit, then how can you have a true connection to yourself, a true connection to our loved ones that have passed on in spirit, a true connection to another person on the earth plane with their spirit? Okay, so we need to develop that and work with that. Okay, that's the first and foremost. If you want to help others, you don't need to be a medium. You could go down to your local hospice and do it that way. So it's what is pulling you. Okay, really have a think about what is pulling you, and if sort of developing your spirituality, developing that connection between yourself and that universal spirit, that will lead you into what your path is, and only you can determine that, not anybody else. That's your path alone. Okay, and part of the wonderful nature of developing that awareness and awakening, if you want to call it, to spirit, is that journey. And knowing that you have found that pathway, you've developed that pathway, that is yours, that you've created, and that you know that you will have such a profound knowledge that that is the route that you're on, is the right route. Okay, and that only comes by you doing it, not somebody telling you. Because if somebody else comes along, if I sit here and say, right, in 5 years' time you'll be a platform medium and working psychic suppers, well, would that actually satisfy you? I don't think so, because it's about you. Okay, there we are. So if you're looking at spiritual experience and guidance, all the guidance that you need is within you. Now, you might need some help in tapping into that. And interestingly, you've come up at this point because I'm finishing a book that I'll be self-publishing on Amazon, and will be called Universal Spirit Awakening. Okay, and it's about looking at spiritual experiences and you learning for yourself about those experiences, about that connection, and how to take that forward. Okay, it's not about looking outside, it's always about looking in. Okay, and that is where the profound learning comes, and You are a reflection of the universe. And at that point, when you touch spirit within you, you touch the universe. You are part of the universe. And that is the incredible thing about spiritualism. Okay. Right. Okay, Joe. Thank you. Who am I going for next? Where am I going next? Stacey. Okay. I don't know why I'm drawn to you, Stacey. I'll do you a quick card. Okay. Right. You have got massive changes around you. Okay, that's why I've been drawn to you. You're just looking for help at this point because of the changes and the things that are happening. You feel as though at times your world is falling apart. You are protected. You are looked after. You have hope because you are loved. Okay, and I know at times that you won't feel that love, but I know that there's a lady in spirit particularly. She used to wear a lot of rings. I can see her hand, and she used to wear a lot of rings on her hands. Okay, and she's coming in. What I would say, Stacey, is through all of this stuff that's happening around you, go inside and build yourself a wall of protection, of light, of love. Okay, and it's not so much protecting yourself from evil spirits outside, because they just can't touch you. They cannot touch you unless you allow them to. And it's all about your mind and your heart and your love and all the rest of it. And if you believe in sort of black magic, all of that rubbish, and the spells and all, they only work because you believe in them. If you don't believe in them, they don't work. Okay, because they're rubbish. All right, they're only told by people to control you. Okay, so don't believe in them. And this is Carly. It gives you the sense that there must be evil forces around because so much tragedy is happening around you. It's happening because that happens in life. It happens in life. It's not because you're cursed. It's not because it's evil. It happens, and it's a learning experience, and you can get through this. You can grow strong through this. Touch the hands of friends. Okay, touch your friends. Keep your friends close. Talk to them. Talk to your family. Okay, talk to whoever will listen. All right, and find a support network for yourself, because others have gone through exactly the same as you. I know that it doesn't always feel that way, but they do. Okay, I've been to really dark places in myself because of things that happened in my life, but family and friends really got me through it, and spirit got me through it too in the end, even though I was being in places where I didn't feel that there was spirit because I just closed myself off. And I've been a medium for 30 years. Okay, they are around. Okay, and love will really help you through that. Okay, Stacey, so you'll be fine. Seriously, you'll be fine. Right, everyone, thank you ever so much for joining me here this evening. Julie will be back on as normal next week. I only jumped on because Julie wasn't able to make it tonight. And thank you for joining me, and have a great rest of the day, great evening, and great rest of the week. And remember to smile at people, they need it. And thank you for joining me. Bye.